Hey everyone, welcome back. Oops, I'm here again, making a follow up on the video, my recent video just that I made today about independent women and whether they need a man. So, right now, I'm trying to make magic and get this camera to stay without having a tripod. I just really felt that desire to expand a little bit on this topic because I felt that it could be necessary to go a little bit deeper and discuss it because there are many sides to the story and many different things. But in this video, I would like to bring three things to your attention. Before I start, I want to ask you guys if the sound is okay or whether I should close my ocean breeze that I'm listening to. Hi everyone, good evening. Unexpected live video. Let's see. No, don't fall, please. Please, please, don't fall. Alright, I hope that you can hear me, guys. I really do. Alright, let's hope for the best. If somebody comes on and can comment on the sound, please do. I just didn't feel like I want to close the door. So, okay. Alright. So, what if you fell in love with a brilliant woman, the driven woman, the woman that is incredible, and she has achieved a lot in her life, or she's just passionate about what she's doing, and she's just really extremely she has many talents and she is not shy to execute those talents. What if you fall in love with a woman who is in fact very ambitious? Okay guys, just a minute, I'm gonna close the door because it's actually pretty loud. So, what if, so just a second, this happens, and a lot of times you do fall in love with a woman that is very special, and many other people are fascinated by her or charmed by her, and they appreciate the things that she does, and she's more than a pretty face, and she maybe is doing certain impact in the world, whether she's leading an organization, whether she's creating some art, whether she's teaching young children, whatever she does, but whatever she does, she has a lot of admiration for her achievements, for the impact that she brings, and you could not help it, and you fall in love with her, and it looks like she's responding to you, and you are about to win the jackpot because she is not only a feminine woman, but she is having an she got an incredible personality traits as well. So what do you do? Do you ask her to become a little bit weaker, or do you ask her to become a little bit less brilliant so you can impress her? One of the things that naturally men do just naturally when they like somebody, they try to impress. When they like a lady, they always try to impress her, and usually ladies don't mind. They want to be impressed, they want to be able to be proud uh, of your actions, achievements, and so on. So every system in any shape or form always striving for a balance. So if you met a woman that is very strong and is very charismatic, and I have to say that in some ways, women are stronger than men. There are certain aspects when it just was meant to be by nature that women have to be stronger in those certain aspects. Some women are stronger even in another aspects. They are faster, more flexible, more decisive, uh, doing better with adjusting, with quick change, with all of those things. So, and it's not a bad thing. And these women also often want to have love in their life. So, what do you do with that? Do you just walk away, or could that ever work? So just like I just mentioned, every system is striving for a balance. So if you happen to meet somebody that's special and that gifted, you have to keep your strengths up, because when I'm trying to hold this with one hand, so but when there are two elements in a system and one of them is becoming a little weaker, the other one have to make up for it. And in a relationship between men and with men and women, very often when the woman becoming stronger and she started to become a masculine, men very often naturally drops their strengths, and it's very very sad to see. It's not a good thing, but it just happens. um, I think every single person can have an example where they've seen that happening when the man for some reason started to drop the ball, and the woman naturally picks up and she's starting to go up and he starts to go down. And this is not a good thing. It's a lot better when man picks up on his strengths and the woman just adjusts and receive, and she can be weak, quote unquote, in certain aspects. It's more like vulnerable and ready to receive. So you have to figure out that balance for your particular situation. It could be a balance for you, could be that if you did meet a brilliant woman that is um, one of a kind, and you admire her talents, you would not want her to be only the mother. You want her to be her, and whatever impact she brings on the world, you want her to keep doing that. You have to work on yourself harder. That's all you need to do. You have to just keep going with your passions in life, with your work, with your dedication to whatever mission in life you have. You might have to push a little bit harder, so that balance is that those energies, masculine and feminine, are in balance, and it's not impossible. And the interesting thing is that women who are strong, or women who give a lot of themselves to their career or to something they truly love doing, even if it's a masculine thing, maybe they are leaders of an organization, or they are performers, or they are teachers. They need about 3 times as much care and love and validation from you than if they just would be happy and satisfied with being a wife. And none of these things is better than another. It just depends on circumstance and where you are and all of that. So if you were so bold that you realize that you met a very special person, one of a kind, one in a million, one in a lifetime, that have just multi-gifted unicorn woman that is, with a golden heart as well, and with great ambition, with a healthy ambition. She's not competing with you. She's just committed to bring good to the world. um, you just have to commit to work on you and compensate that mental withdrawal, that mental depletion. Because when women have those qualities, when they go into it, they have a lot of passion, but once they come back from that mission, from that job, from that career, whatever they're doing, they are completely empty. Their fuel is very on a very low level, and their fuel tank is basically empty. So ladies like this need extra love. They need 2 or 3 times more care. They want to be able to feel as if they are, little girls that doesn't have a care in the world, and here is her, um, big man that takes care of her. Even if in reality she can take perfect care of herself, and she's probably doing that anyway, but she has been doing that before she met you, and when after she met you, she still wants to doing this. And by any meaning, I do not encourage anybody to take someone's identity or to force somebody to quit what they're doing. Sometimes, there are people, men and women, it's does not discriminate by genders, that they leave because of their creative interests. I was absolutely blown away by the speech that um, Grandmaster Brenda Sell, who is a founder, her and her husband, they were founders of the Taekwondo um, Association, US Chandakwan. Her speech was worse for us to fly here to Daytona. She gave 2 speeches, and I could listen to them every single day. And I was really, really inspired by her and her husband. So she is the highest rank in martial arts in Taekwondo. She has a black belt, 9th degree, I believe, in the nation, and she's only one out of Korean nationality who did a number of things that only used to be able accepted by natives in this sport. I can't, I'm too tired to say the details, but she is definitely an incredible woman to be inspired from. And watching all these children, hundreds and hundreds of kids and young people and older people too, doing all this incredible um, martial arts performances, and that started with her. And her and her husband, they were the founders. Unfortunately, he is no longer in this physical world, but she kept with that and she went with that. And when she was giving her speeches, um, it was absolute moment of power, moment of wisdom, and I was thinking about her strengths and how feminine she was, doing martial arts, doing something so masculine, and keeping the organization, growing the organization, creating events, putting so much effort, making it such a wonderful opportunity for the young people to start, instead of, drugs and alcohol. There were some very powerful speeches on people who quit addiction and, you know, became black belts and masters. And so I was looking at her and I was thinking, if somebody would take that from her and she would be doing um, some other things, she would not be her. But at the same time, she remained very feminine. And I record a little bit of her speech but I remember every word she said. It was one of the best motivational speeches and inspirational speeches I've ever heard. That's truly a talent. So if you are the husband or potential husband of a brilliant woman, you need to be uh, keeping up with your own mission and just showing her that you appreciate her. You're not competing with her, you're not jealous, you're proud. This woman chosen you, and um, you have an opportunity to live an incredible life. I will see if I could by any chance retrieve her speech, and I probably will share more about the insights from the event as well. But coming back to the original topic, um, and underline my three main points. So the number one was that every system is a balance. So you should always strive for the balance. And if you notice that you are losing some power, some decisiveness, some determination, it's in your hands to get back to it and to um, make it a good balance. The second reminder that inspirational women, women that make a change in the world, women that doing beautiful things from their heart, they do not need to leave it, to abandon that. Um, if that's how you fall in love with them, you have to realize that that is a part of their personality, and that what made you fall in love with them in the first place. So instead of denying them, helps them to replenish that love, uh, help helps them to replenish that emotional uh, fuel tank, help them to feel when they're off that mission, when they're off work, when they're on the weekend, in the evening, let them feel like they don't have a care in the world and you are there, and they can just be a little girl. Because once again, they need love, support, and nourishment three times more than a regular, I don't say regular, but the woman that does not is not involved in those things. And at the same time, women like this can often be still very feminine. As an example, I was blown away by Grandmaster that was giving speeches, leading the ceremony, created incredible organization, and I can see love was in the air. I'm not sure how many years ago her husband passed away, but she definitely continued their their love project, their mission, and she was incredibly beautiful, shining within. Um, I could barely, I could barely watch it, without breaking into tears. It was so powerful, and yet very feminine. So that is not uncommon. And my last point, once again, is you got to keep investing in yourself instead of trying to lessen her and try to doubt her and show that maybe she's not that valuable. Because sometimes when we are not growing, we focusing on the other person and trying to devalue their progress. We try to devalue their success. We're trying to devalue the impact that they bring on other people. Instead of that, focus on your own growth. Focus on how you can invest in you, that she can look up to you in the other areas of life. or in all the areas in life that depend on you. So that is the message today. I just wanted to go a little bit into depth. And of course, um, everybody has a different timing and a different situation. You know, if you are in a moment where you want to have children and family, you do need to have a conversation. If, I don't know, your lady is, maybe she's an actress or a singer, you have to talk before. And maybe she'll say, you know, I also do want to have a child. Or maybe she'll say, you know, I want it so much that I don't care if I be again on the stage. Or maybe it would be another answer. So it's not a general advice for, or general insight. It's not really an advice. It's just my insights. It's not for every situation and every person in the world. And I also think that the biggest secret of all, when you meet a truly incredible person, is to be very careful and do not devalue them, do not make them doubt themselves, because a lot of times you have a social circle that appreciates you, that knows your value, and then you have a significant other that for some reason does not invest in themselves, and they're frustrated, and you come home and you get devalued by the person that's supposed to be your biggest fan. And this is, you know, gender neutral. It doesn't matter which way, it can work either way. So same thing, you know, if you're a woman and you met a brilliant man, you don't compete with him, you just appreciate and enjoying the wonderful things that it brings to your life, and you find ways to inspire him within, and you find ways to appreciate a lot of things that maybe people do not know about him. um, and this is how you keep the balance, because the balance is always a secret. You know, if we look at any mechanisms, at any devices, everything is based on balance. So that is the message I'd like to share tonight, and I hope you were able to hear me. I'm in extreme conditions. I have a very strange lamp and a very interesting tripod that I made out of the guest service book, but it works. So, from Daytona with Love, I will see you soon, and I hope that this video helped you to get a little bit into depth.